delighted to present our two Indian specialists today. We have Kenneth Bo Nielsen, who is researcher at the Center for Development and Environment at University of Oslo in Norway. And as I understand, you are a social anthropologist by training, and has focused on a lot of different things: India and Hindu diaspora in Denmark, social movements in West Bengal, published a lot in critical Asian studies, South Asia, contemporary South Asia, and also have a book, as I understand it, from Trustful Democracy, Political Practice in South Asia. So you have a long experience of talking on South Asia, and especially on what we will talk about today, which is a historic win, election talk, and election numbers in India's 16th Lok Sabha election. And I think I'll just introduce you as well, because what we will do today is we'll do both presentations back to back, about half an hour each, and then we open up to comments and questions and any kind of comments. So our second presenter today, which we will come straight after, is Jørgen Dige Pedersen. And I was looking you up a little bit to see what you have published.
That's only
Jørgen is
years.
a lecturer at the Dept.of Political Science in Aarhus, and have, when I look at this impressive publication list, I see that you've published over the years a lot on India, but also on the kind of global international political economy in India, but also comparisons, which I thought was quite interesting, with China and Brazil. And of course, your specialty is one that is also Hindu nationalism, or India, and India after elections now. And so Jørgen will talk on the topic India's economy after the election, in line with what kind of research he's doing. So we decided for Kenneth to start. So if you start with Kenneth, and
where Modi can in effect call the shots as he wants to. So that's what I'll try to say something about over the next 25 minutes, half an hour or so. So I think we all know that over the past 2 or 3 decades, the Indian party system has become increasingly fragmented and increasingly regionalized. And there are many factors behind this shift towards a more plural kind of political setup. Of course, one important factor is the decline and disintegration of what used to be called the Congress system, that well-oiled Congress machine that operated in the early post-independence decades. And the second important thing is what is usually referred to as the second democratic upsurge, that is the increasing mobilization around formerly marginal groups, the Dalits and the OBCs, particularly in North India, but in other cases as well. So, in a sense, I think most of us had come to expect that India was now in the age of coalitions. That one almost by default, one would expect a central government to be composed by many parties, because none of the big ones were any longer capable of winning enough seats. But certainly that's no more the case. Huh? I mean, we have regional parties in government, but they are pretty small players. It's the Akali Dal, the Telugu Desam party, and the Shiv Sena. But in effect, the BJP has a majority of its own. If it wants to rely on that, it can do it. So what are these regional parties to do over the next 5 years, when suddenly the political landscape is completely different? And have they in fact been wiped out from the political landscape? Are they really irrelevant? And in order to understand this, I think it's useful to look back to the Lok Sabha elections 5 years ago. And this is a kind of homemade map. If you can distinguish the colors, the green states, which are nearly black on this map, are states where the Congress emerged as the largest party 5 years ago. The yellow states, which were actually orange when I colored the map, which became yellow once they came on the PowerPoint, were the states where the BJP emerged as the largest single party. And all the red states are the states in which a regional party emerged as the largest party. So there's a bit of a mix. Some large areas for BJP, some large areas for Congress, and some large areas for the regional parties. But importantly, the really big North Indian states like UP, Bihar, and also West Bengal, as well as Tamil Nadu and South India, were dominated by regional parties. And I think this influence of the regional parties becomes even more clear if one adds the states in which a regional party finished as a strong runner-up. So if you look at this map, again, we have the red states are the ones in which you had a regional party winning the state, and the blue states are the ones in which you had a strong runner-up that was also considered a regional party. So much of India was really sort of had a strong presence of these regional parties. 5 years ago, these were some of the people that were considered to be important among the regional leaders. I'm sure they will be familiar to most of you, but just to sum up, top left, the Dalit leader Mayawati from UP, next to her Nitish Kumar from Bihar, Patnaik from Orissa, Mulayam Singh, the OBC leader also from UP, bottom left, Mamata Banerjee from the Trindle Congress in West Bengal. And I've put the communists on the screen as well, which are not really regional parties, but which in effect have 2 regional strongholds from where they collect most of their MPs. So for that purpose, one can see the communists as a kind of regional player. And lastly, the Catarina from Tamil Nadu. So these were the important players 5 years ago. And there was even a good deal of talk about Mayawati potentially becoming the prime minister if and when things went according to a certain logic. So these were important politicians at the time, even potential prime ministers. So this is how they performed 5 years ago. There's a whole list of parties here. Samaj Frontal Party, Bahujan Samaj Party, Janata Dal United, and so on. But the point is, you had a very large group of 7 parties or so that had around 20 MPs each. A fairly large group of regional parties with around 20 MPs each. So there was a big diversity with strong regional players represented. Yeah.